Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pizza Roundtable, part of the Pizza Club Network, where we host some of the biggest movers and shakers in the pizza industry from all around the world. Tonight, you're here with us for Pizza Roundtable, where we talk about the biggest news of the week and give you a chance to weigh in on it. I'm your host, Will Dumas, and I'm joined tonight by my co-host and founder, Michael Fox, as well as our special guest tonight, Bruce Nachbar. Bruce is a film and television producer and director. Bruce, welcome to the show.
Great. Thank you. Happy to be here.
We're looking forward to it. Michael, what's up? How are you doing?
How's it going, Will? Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday, as always. Did either of you guys have any pizza today?
Yesterday.
All right, close
Yesterday,
enough.
Yeah.
Yesterday for me as well.
So we should make it a prerequisite before we come on, a ceremonial pizza before we join on Thursday. It's going to be the go forward way.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
All right, well, listen, Bruce. Thanks for coming on with us so much. And tonight you were live from where? Tell us.
I'm about an hour outside of Tokyo, so technically I had pizza on Thursday because yesterday was Thursday.
Absolutely,
It's Friday at 11. So yeah. Yeah, I'm in an area basically called Enoshima. It's about an hour outside of Tokyo, right at the beach. Beautiful, beautiful area. Yeah.
Awesome. Michael, is Bruce then technically our first international guest on the YouTube live from that perspective, at least not on the show, but I'm saying
for YouTube Live, I think I think so. We've now crossed some rivers or some oceans, I should say.
Yeah.
So thank you for breaking the seal.
Sure. And time
Bruce,
zones.
tell us. Yeah, absolutely. We crossed the continents, date lines, so not even just time zones. So Bruce, listen, I gave you a brief introduction, which probably did you no justice. Give us a little bit more about yourself in general. Did I do you justice as a television film producer or director?
That sums it up pretty quickly. It's something I've dreamed of doing since I was 7 years old, and I've done it for my entire career. And throughout that, of course, I grew up in Brooklyn eating pizza, and this is back in the first golden age where every corner place was delicious. And so like our neighborhood place that was 5 minutes away was great. My friend Mitch used to call them up and go, "Hey, it's Mitch." And they would go, "Okay, see you in 5 minutes." And that was it. They didn't have to even order, give an address, nothing.
That's old school then, for sure.
Yeah. And even Ray's was good back then. Maybe there was one or two Ray's, original Ray's. And yeah, but I grew up eating pizza, and it's always been a love. And after a bunch of decades, like a lot of decades in the film business, and especially in the film business out here in Japan, where it's not the greatest, most gratifying business in the world, I'm pivoting into pizza with the help of Massimiliano and Rob Servino, mentors to me, and bring Roman pizza to Japan, bring it to the beach for sure. There's nothing like that down here.
Wow, awesome. Well, listen, man, I can't wait to get into it. Then I was interested to see kind of, how you got into pizza, or what would you say, maybe caught the pizza bug. But I think it's best maybe first we introduce kind of the feature as to why we're chatting tonight, particularly as well, and I'll share it real quick for everyone here. So if we take a look at our screen now, this is an article written by Bruce here. This is in Pizza Today. So this is Pizza Life POV, call to action, Andrew Bellucci memoriam, and a call to action. So Bruce, okay, film producer, for the most part, got a pizza bug. How the heck did you end up writing this article? Tell us more about it. Walk us through a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned it a little bit in the article. I discovered Andrew through during the pandemic through the Untitled Pizza movie, which I thought was going to be all about pizza, and it's for the three people who got lucky enough to see it. It's the opposite of that. It's a really emotionally draining, multi-part film series about life and disappointment and searching and longing, and Andrew's just a part of it. And at that point, he was, hoping for a comeback, a second chance. And after I watched it, I just reached out. I saw that he was on Instagram. I just reached out, never thinking I'd hear back from him. And he, replied in, I don't know, it felt like minutes. And established this, communication over Instagram. He's just so gracious and warm and wonderful. And then just following his journey and watching him get, screwed over, wearing his heart on his sleeve, and not always thinking and just diving in, and then finding Matthew, who seems to really love him and protect him, and then his success and his redemption, I guess you can call it. I thought it was just really beautiful, and it was really impacted me when the day he passed away.
Yeah.
And I have my own fears around that kind of thing. And my dad died when I was 10, and it was just all very like, it really that made me sad, very sad. And I just, was taking a walk along the beach, and all these thoughts came into my head about it, and it just started building. Like, well, maybe we could talk to people. Maybe we could, get a message out to them. And then just the article just developed in my head, and I reached out to some really great people who I thought would
Yeah.
be respected and give some great insight. I didn't realize how great an insight I would get from both Rob and John. And then, of course, I wanted a doctor's perspective. And I
Sure.
just said, I'm just going to write it. And I sent it cold to, info at Pizza Today. And then,
Yeah.
Jeremy wrote me back. And that was it.
That's awesome. I mean, I'd say Andrew just quite a character, and he was actually on Thursdays as well. I had him on as a guest, maybe a year ago or so, around there, talking about everything he had going on in the news. So
and he loved to share,
yeah, a great sharer. And I guess that's kind of Bruce, to your point. He really was a great sharer, and in that respect, I mean, that's how you guys connected, right? I mean, that's just a cold reach out to him and saying like, hey, I'm looking for some pizza help, advice, or anything like that, and he was more than kind to offer it. That's for sure, to anyone who wanted to listen.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit then about just kind of how you connected, with Rob, who's also a friend of ours as well, and then John and Rita as well. I mean, they're quite some names to be featured that you got to connect with, and distinctly different kind of pizza styles and parts of the world, right, that they're in for the most part, at least across the continent. So tell us a little bit more about kind of connecting with both of them as well.
Yeah, I was pretty conscious. I wanted to get two people, or at least two people, who are from different backgrounds, different ages, so they have that perspective, just so that whoever reads it can find something to relate to. Rob, I had messaged with when I was looking for a Roman pizza class, and Massimiliano didn't have time. He was going to be out of the country. And so I would ask Rob, and if you have anyone else you'd recommend, and he'd say no, but if you can't, see him, then maybe try this guy in Rome and this and that. And luckily I was able to make it work, Massimiliano, and I was able to fly over there earlier this year, fly over to Madrid and do a 3-day private with him. Yeah, it was great. It was great. Really lucky. But so I had a dialogue with Rob, but we weren't friends per se. So I just reached out to him and asked him if he'd be open to it, because I thought he's such an interesting guy, because he's so driven, right? Everything he does, whether it's the competitions or television or the shop or Instagram. And so how do you balance that? Right? That was just my initial, thing to talk to him about. I didn't realize about his other issues that he brings up in the article. And John, I knew about, he's, first of all, met him at Pizza Expo, and, friends on Facebook. And a number of times I've sent him not even advice, asking him for advice, but just, little messages, whether it's on his birthday or something like that. And he's always been very kind. So I felt confident reaching out to him, and I know how much he cares about people. So I thought that's a good opportunity. And plus, his own health issues and how he fights through it, literally, right, with his
Yeah.
martial arts, and the story of his dad and coming into the shop still every day. I met his dad at Pizza Expo, so I thought, I'll just send them a message, and they were both very receptive, which was I feel really blessed by that, because I think they give a great they support each other, and yet their stories are really different enough.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I think the support perspective as well. I mean, I think it's also kind of one of the things that we've certainly noticed, Michael, you probably attest to it as well. The pizza community, as large as it seems, it's fairly tight in terms of if you're looking for help, people are there to lend a hand in every aspect, right? You need a pitch in on an ingredient you're trying to open up, and you need people to come and help you out, and you just want someone to talk to, right? I mean, that's kind of the purpose a lot of the times of the club here as well too. It's kind of coming together in that respect, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and all the people that are in your article have contributed in one way or the other, and many into this community, especially even in Pizza Club. So yeah, I 100% agree. And walking around Pizza Expo or any of these conferences, like, just you see that everybody's really part of this community and wants to help each other.
Bruce, I'll throw it back to you before we continue on. But I know the article itself in general, I want to say I think it's a great read for people to kind of dig into. But definitely highlights the health aspects, right, or some of the stressor side of the industry. So I mean, maybe you could share a few takeaways from that, or what do you want people to take away from that article, and what to do for themselves in that concern.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing, the easiest thing is just to be conscious of it. That, it is an issue, and it's something you should be aware of and think about. And that's just just a great first step. And then once you start thinking about it, you can start doing little things, whether it's monitoring your blood pressure, and that's easy enough, because that's just a great indicator. Getting your blood work done, going to the doctor just for a checkup. I went and got an Aura ring, which after debating, like, do I want a watch? Do I want a Fitbit, Apple Watch, this and that? This thing is so easy to wear all the time. And it's helping with my sleep. Sleep, they say, is one of the greatest ways to be healthier. That's so easy. Sleep.
It is, but often one that's overlooked, right, or one that's easy to bypass, especially in that kind of an issue when you're going, 100 and something miles an hour, right, to get done what you need to.
Yeah, but you don't need any equipment except, bed is nice, pillow, but but then of course then you get into the exercise and all that. But start somewhere, even just thinking about it and caring about it. Think about your family, your employees, if you really care about them, yourself, wanting to stay on the planet, and then take some actions.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Great. Listen, I guys, it's a great read. And Michael, I think maybe if we haven't posted it, maybe we can share the article along the way too, just over the week as well, if we put it up on our stories or whatnot.
We shared it.
Yeah, I figured so much.
No, it's a great article and really touching, and I'm it's a great conversation that we have to have in this industry, and I hope this is just the beginning of the conversation, not the end. So
yeah, thank you, Bruce.
Thank you.
So listen, Bruce, maybe you want to tell us, let's pivot a little bit and tell us a little bit about kind of, your journey into pizza for a minute, and kind of maybe where you're looking to go with it.
Well, I guess about 6 years ago, there's some great pizza in Japan. It's kind of it's more Neapolitan than Neapolitan, but that's pretty much what it is, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I grew up in Brooklyn, and I miss New York pizza. And there's a couple of places in Tokyo that are good, not great. And so I thought, I'm going to start making pizza, because there's something in the back of my mind I always wanted to do, but I've never made myself. I did Trader Joe's pizza when I lived in LA, and throw it on the barbecue, and like, look at that. You could throw it on a barbecue and make pizza. But it definitely wasn't the same. So I got a used Weber and a kettle. What's it called? The kettle pizza. I can't remember what it's called. Kettle was this company, and it's an insert that goes into the Weber grill
Oh, you know, we talked about it
with a
before. Actually,
stone.
it's kind of like a mini stone, right? And it keeps like keeps the heat
So
refractory right
yeah,
to on top to
yeah,
it as well. So okay,
impossible,
cool.
so difficult. So like, and I had it on our little balcony in Tokyo, and I tried making pizza, and I was complete utter failure. Didn't know what I was doing, and then got better and better, and then we changed houses and we went to LA and I knew we were going to LA for a visit. And so I ordered a rock box because you can't get them in Japan. So you could see it's outside covered by an IKEA bag, which is
Oh,
IKEA bag is the perfect um, cover for a rock box. Fits perfectly. Um, and got a rock box and brought it back as my checked luggage and just made it weight wise.
wow.
And had to figure out how to get propane in Japan, which is you can't. There's no U-Haul that you can go to and get and fill it up yourself. You have to bring it someplace. They send it out, then they bring it back, and you get. It takes about a week to fill a tank.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, it's ridiculous. So most people have two tanks because
Makes sense. Makes sense.
yeah, you
You
just
don't
can't
want to be
fill
caught. You don't want to be caught running out then in that
it. Yeah,
situation. Absolutely. Pick it up next
yeah,
week.
yeah. So I just started practicing with the rock box, and I still try to make more towards the New York side than Neapolitan, which is not easy on a rock box because of
Yep.
the amount of heat it generates. And then thinking about like, you know what, I want to open a place. I want to open a place. I want to open a place. And we moved to the beach, and I've been looking for 3 years for a spot, and I can't find a place to rent. And in that time period, I went to Pizza Expo um, at the can't remember the name, but it's they had Castelli ovens, it's Italian
Hmm.
flour supplier, Molino Iaquone, Iaquone or something, the flour company. It was their
Mm.
stand. Um, they had this guy there named Uta, very, anyway, Italian guy with a tattoo on his neck and a mohawk, big guy, unbelievable Roman pizza, unbelievable pizza Italia. So that was the first time I started thinking about it, and then I started thinking more and more about it, and now
Yeah.
I'm moving towards that, and it's it's just great for takeaway. I mean, it's delicious. It's
Yes.
great for takeaway. It's great for putting things on top. You can have such
Yes.
variety,
They're beautiful looking,
and
right? I mean,
it's
just
beautiful looking.
aesthetically, they're so pleasing.
Yeah,
I could just stare at a display case and be like,
yeah,
just guys hover in front for quite some time. I'll say.
exactly. So I'm gonna do a ghost kitchen out of a trailer that I'm building in my driveway because there's all these
Awesome. Restrictions, right?
city
Yeah,
restrictions about
ordinances or whatnot. Sure.
yeah. So my biggest thing right now is just making sure I get enough electricity to run the oven because I have a trailer I found. It looks like a mini Airstream. It's made here in Japan.
Cool.
Uh, it'll fit in the driveway. I'm all ready to, kit it out. I have an oven that I'm going to get from Italy that's small enough to fit in there, but big enough to make enough trays at a
Yeah.
time. But just got to get, like 8 kilowatts of power, and even that's challenging. So I think that's
Jeez.
my last hurdle. If
All right.
as soon as I know
You
I have the
definitely gotta.
power,
Yeah, you got a
then
journey ahead.
yeah.
You're gonna have to come back on Tuesday nights. On Tuesdays, we sometimes host a show called Pizza Hustle. We talk about
Oh
kind of
yeah,
up
I'd
and
love
coming
to.
pizza makers. So yeah, absolutely, Michael
Yeah,
could be a repeat. Once he gets going, we'll have to
yeah.
check it out.
So it's going to be Lilo Pizza, which
Absolutely.
is Libby, my daughter, and Leo is my son. So it'll be Lilo Pizza. Hopefully
Very nice.
in the beginning of the year, next year.
Awesome. Best of luck to you,
So,
Bruce. Awesome.
thank you,
Sounds
thank
great.
you. I'll take it. I'll take it.
We'll have to follow you across social media. Where can
Yeah.
people follow you as well? I will shout it out later on at the end too. But where can we follow you?
Yeah, but right now I'm just my personal one, which is Brooklyn, and then the number 2, and then Tokyo on Instagram. That's the main
Okay.
easiest place. Otherwise, I'm the only Bruce Nachbar on Facebook. I think not many of us out there.
All right.
And
Cool.
then I have like a Lilo pizza, but I haven't started posting it yet on Instagram. So
So
that'll start
we
getting
are
active.
exclusive. We are
Yes, this
exclusive.
is the
Okay.
announcement. This is the announcement.
Nice. Congrats. Bruce, do you have any other plans to write more articles or even follow up about this one? Is there any thought in the works about that now that you're a writer for a pizza magazine, a trade magazine?
I mean, if they have anything that they would like or anything I can, offer to them that would be interesting, I would love to. I don't feel like I have the credentials to write anything about making pizza. There's all these people who write who, have tens of thousands of pizzas under their belt and such expertise that, I feel it would be incredibly presumptuous for me to like say, here's my recipe or formula. But
you'd be surprised, man. I think that's a spirit. I think that's a spirit too. And if you were at Expo, right, they kind of talk about it from the competition side too. People are like, I can't compete with these people, right? And they're just like, no, get in there, try it. People are going to help you out and support it. So don't approach it that way, man.
That's true. I mean, if I have something interesting to write, yeah, I'd love to. It's enjoyable for me. Hopefully people, like the article. It's a good read. Hopefully Jeremy and people at Pizza Today are pleased with it. And, if they ever want to reach out and ask me to write something, happy to do it. I didn't do it for the money because I didn't get paid to do it. I just sent it in, I did it for people to read it. And hopefully, even if one person, gets touched by it, Matthew, I don't know if he's on this today, but he reached out and told me, how much it meant to him and the AED that they got installed in the shop. And it was like, that I feel like, that's the perfect result. That's all I was hoping for.
That's great.
Yeah, and don't worry. I mean, credentials, schmedentials, don't worry about it. I've got none either. I ride on Michael's coattails, so Michael keeps all the credentials for us. All right, well, listen, Bruce, if we got a minute, maybe we'll chat about an article or two. In general, listen, they're fun, lighthearted sometimes. Sometimes they're a bit deeper. But unknowingly, right, I want to talk about an article quickly that was actually featured in PMQ this week. And it seems to be fitting. I'll say that maybe we could speak a little bit to it. So I'll share it up here, guys. Like I said, this one is out of PMQ. And it reads, has an entirely new pizza style emerged on the West Coast? So I'll read here from the article. This unique pizza crust, crispy on the outside with a soft, chewy interior, was inspired by a popular Japanese sweet treat. A new pizzeria in Burlingame, California is firing up pies with a crust like none other in the U.S. and maybe even the world. Mochi Pizza held its grand opening on November 4th. After a soft opening that ran for several days and weeks. Listen, we can run through it, but the idea here being like these are what we're referring to as a mochi styled pizza. So I don't know, Bruce. Are we looking at something new? Is this like par for the course? I'm generalizing in your kind of region out there, or are we breaking boundaries here with this one as well?
Yeah, this is something I've never seen before. They'll use a description like something's mochi, like the mouth feel, the tooth feel when they're biting into a bread or a pizza. But if this is real, I have to read the article. I don't know what they do that's different. What if they use rice flour or something?
Yes,
like that?
They do. Absolutely. Yep. I can go through it for a little bit, and then the article does reference kind of the composition for these. But just, I mean, again, I know we're just talking kind of Romanist too. Like this style is pretty intriguing, just visually in that respect. Michael, what do you think, buddy?
Yeah, no, I'm interested to see more. I mean, obviously, this is definitely something different and unique. I don't know how this will play out, but we're always trying new things and different things here. So, maybe you need to go out to San Francisco and get out to the West Coast.
Absolutely. Well, so I'll quote quickly, guys. Someone here in general from the article here. Mochi is a popular Japanese rice cake made from a rice called, is it mochigom? It's a chewy texture and can be shaped into a variety of forms. So in general, yes, it is a very, very, I don't know if the word refined is correct, but a very refined rice flour in general for these. I guess it's coming up with this kind of classic crispy-ish outside but chewy interior, which I feel like is, to be honest, kind of what we're searching for a lot of times with certain pizza styles as well, right? You want a little bit of crunch on the outside, you want some chew when you get into it, right? So I mean, it's not like that crazy of a texture to seek, but I don't know. What do we see for most common pizza, if it's the way to put it, Bruce, for in Japan? Is there a favorite style per se that just dominates for the most part?
Well, Neapolitan is like everywhere, right?
Sure.
So there are thousands of Neapolitan pizza places across Japan, and some of them are really, really good because a Japanese chef will get focused on it, and then every single day we'll just do the same thing over and over and over and over until it reaches a level of expertise and not perfection, right? They don't want perfection because they always want something to be striving for until they die. So you're going to get really technically really, really good pizza, but then there's the Tokyo style, which is like Serenkan. He was the guy who started Serenkan. He's the one who Kukinuma. He's the one who brought it back to Japan because he went to Naples and nobody would teach him. And so he just stayed for 6 months and ate a lot of pizza and came back and perfected this style. And it's Neapolitan. It's a little bit crunchier. They pull the sides
crust,
to get a bit more the crust, get a little bit more texture. They do a salt toss onto the deck before they launch. A lot of olive oil. He makes a delicious pizza. He's the OG. And then there's all these people who were born out of that, right? It was originally Savoy, and then they split into two places. Savoy is still fantastic, and Bun, who's on Instagram, is the nicest pizziola in the world, and he is fantastic, and that's Savoy in Tokyo. And then Serenkan is the original guy. And then there's PST, which is also a disciple who came out of Savoy, and he's like the super serious, really famous guy in Tokyo, Tamaki.
Yeah.
And then there's a guy in Okinawa. I went to Okinawa with a friend for the film festival. We go to this place called Bakar, and it's his friend's pizzeria, beautiful place. And afterwards, I go up to him. I said, I don't know if if you're familiar, but this is the highest compliment. Your pizza is just like Serenkan. He goes, that's where I studied. So yeah,
that's so cool to see, to be able to find familiarities, right? It's from almost like a lineage, right? For someone distinctly was making pizza in one place, and some characteristics kind of carry on that you can recognize through. It's amazing. And I'll just note, because you were talking about LA before. I think we caught a lot of attention in LA, which was Pizzeria Say. I believe that was William June.
Joe?
Joe, maybe. Yeah.
Joe, he's Korean,
Yes, who's doing the Tokyo style though, but out of Say in LA, which has really caught a lot of attention, particularly because you mentioned the Tokyo style. So
I want to go try his pizza, and he's also a really nice guy.
I bet.
Really a nice guy. And there's a guy in DC who's doing pizza that sounds really interesting, and a Japanese guy. Yeah, that I was just reading about. So Tokyo style is really good, but none of them travel well, and the pandemic really made that obvious. And like Domino's here, it's like it's gotten worse. I have to admit, with my kids, once in a while we would get Domino's in the past.
Sure.
It's gotten smaller, it's gotten worse quality, and it's gotten more expensive. So I'm like, okay, great, real incentive, but it shows people will pay, it's like $20, $25 for a Domino's pizza.
Yeah.
And it's not even that big. And so people will pay for pizza here, which is great.
Right. I follow you there. Yeah. We don't discriminate for pizza here, Michael, right? We're accepting of all walks of the pizza life for the most part. All pizza has a purpose somewhere.
Yeah. But I will tell you, you asked this a couple of weeks ago. I didn't chime in, but the Costco pizza here is just like the Costco pizza in America. It tastes exactly the same.
Consistency reigns at Costco.
It's unbelievable.
That carries
It's unbelievable.
through.
Yeah, it's exactly same shape, the same kind of flop. It's not crispy on the bottom. You can see the screen. Yeah.
Are you rolling your hot dogs in the pizza? Have you tried it though yet, Bruce?
No,
That is the next one. You have to get the Costco hot dog, take the bun out, put it on your pizza slice, roll it up, and then you have the hot dog in the pizza, dude.
I'll tell my son.
Well, listen, I'll share one more real quick, just because I know you just mentioned Domino's, and this article, guys, came out this week, and the visual is really just what drew me in, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Check out this Domino's to use flashy new delivery electric bike with built-in pizza oven. This thing looks badass. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. Any initial thoughts on this from a delivery perspective, or just cool appeal to it? What do you think, Bruce? I mean, Domino's always coming out with different delivery vehicles, right? And kind of electric vehicles or whatever it is. But this one, this is a showstopper.
I think it's beautiful. I'd love to know what the oven is. That's what I care about.
It's a battery operated. I didn't get too many of the details yet on the actual oven itself. Maybe it's more of a quote unquote heating vessel where they're referring to it as an oven.
That's great.
Michael, what do you think, man?
Is it? I want to know if it's pedal powered, or no? It's all electric.
They said electric, so I don't know if it's like one of those dual functional where you can kind of rev it a little bit and get it going. You could also pedal too. I don't know. More to come. We'll have to see. This one was from Electric Check. Sorry, that referenced this one for us.
This thing looks really cool. Yeah, it looks really cool.
I love it. All right,
especially the light up wheels too. By the way, sorry.
The wheels are the one. No, the wheels are the thing that caught everyone's attention. I think I saw some of the comments. They're like, "What are those blue wheels about?"
Yeah.
I don't know if they add any sort of heat to the pizza or improve anything other than just like looking cool, which is also fine by me. But
we're not commenting on the pizza. We're commenting on the bike. So.
Well, Mike, I'll throw it to you real quick, man. Anything else before we wind down that we didn't get to mention? Anything at all?
I'm just really happy that Bruce was able to come and chat with us, and I know he's been kind of part of the Pizza Club for a minute here in the background. So we're glad you're stepping out and actually, super excited that you were able to come. So thank you.
Bruce. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Bruce, thanks so much, man. And once again, man, just let us know where can people follow you?
Brooklyn to Tokyo. So Brooklyn #2. Tokyo on Instagram. That's probably the easiest place to find me, or Bruce Nachbar on Facebook.
All right, awesome, man. Listen, we're gonna stay tuned. We'll be out there looking for your pizza journey. Good luck on getting things going. And on that note, guys, everyone, thank you so much for joining us tonight for Pizza Roundtable, which is part of the Pizza Club Network. Check back with us again next week for another episode. Good night, all.